What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 here for another Hot Toys video review. This time it's an older figure, but it's a pretty rare one, I guess. I tried searching YouTube, maybe I didn't search hard enough, but I didn't see any review of this guy. I know it's one of those rare releases that Sideshow didn't even get them. It's not that popular, I guess, because of that nature. I don't know how many they made, but it's pretty awesome. So this is Iron Man 3, Rose Hill, Tony Stark, MMS 232. As you can see from the box, this is from the movie Iron Man 3. I believe it was only released in Hong Kong, some special edition thing like that. As you can see the back, pretty much same style as any Iron Man 3 releases. The nature of the box is kind of like his shirt, the pattern and all that stuff. Shoebox type of box. There you go. So you take this out, and in a normal Iron Man 3 fashion, you get that little design right there. If you remember, that is where the explosion happened, because we're connected. I guess that's what it says right there. And then they have those flowers and all that stuff to commemorate those who lost their lives in that scene. At least I'm making it sound like it's a horrible tragedy, but it's really not. There you go. It's a pretty cool figure. It's not that popular because of how it looks. A lot of people making fun of it, like the Cowboy Tony, or what do you call that, Brokeback Tony. But it's pretty cool in my opinion. It's one of those grail figures if you are an Iron Man collector, which I'm not. I just found this one and I thought it was pretty cool to review since it's not out there. It comes with just fisted hands and open palm hands. Those cable wires, if you remember from the movie. I don't pay attention to details as much, so I guess there's the blue and green wires. I know he's trying to boost up the cable to get some signal, so he went to this van where this guy's covering the Miss Chattanooga or something like that pageant. So that it represents that. He also has a trucker hat, which is pretty cool on its own merit. You can put him on his head. I'm not sure if it's gonna contain some staining. You know how it is if you put a fabric in somebody on this Hot Toys. Normally they stain over time, just like what happened to my Alfred. He comes with this cowboy hat, which is pretty cool as well. It fits perfectly, fits nicely. That's one right there. So this is one of those figures where you don't really need it, but if you take pride in, I guess, in your Iron Man collection, or any collection for that matter, as you know, it comes with also the repulsor hand. It gets kind of like the mechanic. Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. There you go, some details on the front. So you kind of like separate them and insert them in one of those hands. And as I was saying, you always take pride on those things that are rare, and it's one of them. It's kind of like reviewing or having Two-Face from The Dark Knight. He's not the best figure, but because it's so rare, then it's so expensive right now, that it makes it special. I guess it falls into that category where if you can get this for the right price, since not a lot of people has it, it has a certain degree of collectability out, unlike having, let's say, the Heartbreaker, where it's pretty much widespread and all that stuff. This one gives you a little bit of I guess rare feeling. But at the same time, is it worth the money? It depends on how much you spend on it. Now, I believe the mechanic is worth $220 initially. Would this fall in the same category? Now, by the looks, the mechanic has, more in terms of accessories. But like I said, the idea that they only made so much of this, that to a point that even Sideshow Toy didn't carry this, I guess put some merit into it. So I guess if you can get this in the price at the same token as, I would say, the mechanic, why not? It looks pretty cool. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. I guess there's a lot of haters when it comes to Iron Man, and we all know that. A lot of people are complaining. Probably same boots as mechanic there. A lot of people are complaining about the Hot Toys releases way too many Iron Mans, and I agree. But at the same time, they're a business, and that's where they make their money. People buy it. There's a lot of market for Iron Man. They look cool, so they're gonna keep on making it until people doesn't want to buy them anymore. It's the same goes with Tony Stark. You can make a Hall of Tony Stark. There's a bunch of Tony Stark releases out there. He's one of the more popular characters, so it is what it is. So they even made this character. So, and the vest, his clothing is pretty diverse. He has this vest that you can take out. You have this shirt that you could also take out. A scarf. So it's not like you're stuck. I mean, the fabric is nice. The costume is nice. You see that watch? I didn't put the sticker on. Some denim jeans. And like I said, the boots, that I would say it's pretty similar to, And his inner shirt, I didn't even know that he had this in him. Because the light up feature from his chest, and pretty cool undergarment as well. It looks one of those Dexter type shirt, where if you are, I guess, doing a Dexter costume, not a bad fit right there. You don't even need this undershirt if you have all of his clothing inside. So yeah, not a bad Tony to have, because even the head sculpt, it pretty resembles the mechanic version, outside of those big blood stains on his eye. I'm gonna give you some different lighting here. Pretty nice head sculpt, not as nice as obviously the one that's coming out right now, but it's still pretty, it's up there. They haven't even perfected the new Tony Stark outside of the quarter scale Mark 43 head, which is pretty nice. I would say, it's a decent looking head. So if you are, trying to, well, there's a lot of bootlegs out there, trying to put a head sculpt on your Mark 43 or anything like that. I've seen them use this type of head, which is not bad because it doesn't have all those blood. It does have some battle damage to it, but not excessively. There you go. Pretty decent sculpt right there. It's not as bad as the first releases, and you can give him, a bunch of looks. You can give him some sunglasses as well from obviously the older figures like the mechanic, if you want to buy one from eBay and all that stuff. But obviously he does come with the the hat, which is okay. It fits decently. There you go, and then you can see that his facial hair, some scratches and all that stuff. So pretty nice looking figure out there. I'm worried about the scarf. Maybe it'll do some staining on his neck down the line, but so far so good on this figure. I've had him for a few months now, and I've never really experienced any fading as of yet. And I'll show you how he looks like with the hat. And I didn't push it down all the way. I hope you can see it clearly on that angle. I don't know, with hats, especially the plastic ones, I'm a bit concerned about staining, even though the hat is light colored. I've seen it in some figures where it does stain. So I mean, this is a rare figure, as I said earlier, so I don't want to take any chances as far as whether I'm gonna keep it on. I'm pretty sure you can keep it on for quite some time, but I wouldn't really recommend it. And the same goes if you do the trucker hat. I mean, he looks nice, but I don't know. He looks nice as it is without the hat anyway. I guess the trucker hat fits a little bit better because it has a garter on the back and it stretches out, so it kind of fits the head. And like I mentioned, I wasn't really trying to be careful on setting him up. I'm not a big Iron Man collector, so I'm probably gonna sell this as well. I'm not gonna ask for an arm and a leg for this one, but mostly on local. That's where I sell this from. In my area, there's a lot of collectors, luckily, so I don't really need to go to eBay. But yeah, he looks nice. On a different look for Tony Stark. All the looks he has. If you're kit bashing, he's normally in a suit, or in a different type of clothing. But at least what I can say is it does It does have a scene in the movie where he has this, unlike some of the armors who saw, I don't know, like a glimpse of it, like a second or maybe not even, they just know it's there. And like I mentioned earlier, if you wanna, if you wanna make him look a little bit more badass, you can take out all the clothing and have him in this like a tight-fitting shirt, and it looks pretty cool on this one. He kind of reminds me of the scene on the Age of Ultron where he was chopping wood alongside Captain America. And, he looks kind of badass on this one. As you can see there, the chest, the light-up feature on his chest, it's still out there. So, you're pretty much getting the Tony Stark experience, not just the Rose Hill Iron Man, so to speak, where people are making fun that he looks like those gay cowboys from, I don't know if I forgot the movie, Heath Ledger and all that stuff. Brokeback Mountain, yeah. He doesn't have a belt though. It's kind of disappointing. Looks like he's wearing mom pants as well. But, overall I think it looks pretty decent. Actually, this looks pretty badass, to be quite honest with you. And I'll throw like this pose right here. This is probably how I'm gonna leave him as far as the pose is concerned. With his repulsor blast. And the repulsor, if I remember correctly, on the mechanic, which I also did have, but I sold it a while back. Only the special edition has the repulsor blast. So if you have that, I guess you can buy it on eBay like separately, or have this figure, which is more expensive. Yeah, this look right here looks pretty good. I got it from those still shots that he has on Hot Toys website, so I'm not gonna take credit for this post. It's pretty nice. Rotating. Yeah, I mean, as far as action poses or badass poses, it's Tony Stark. You're pretty limited unless you're in an Iron Man suit. You're pretty limited on what you could and what you couldn't do. I just like the fact that, I like the head sculpt. There's a lot of things to like about this figure. But the biggest one, I would say, is the fact that it is rare. And I have, on my Dark Knight is my main collection. I have Scarecrow and what's his name, Demon Bats, and they're not the most impressive figure, but I call them Grail because they're expensive and they're pretty rare. And you can say the same thing about this one. I think they only made 300, or I'm talking about maybe like a different collection. But whatever the case may be, it's nice to have in your collection, especially if you're a big Iron Man fan. It's not a must-have, but it's a Grail for sure, just because of the status. So thank you for watching the review. Hopefully this helps you out if you're on the fence. So whether you're gonna get it or not, it's up to you now. So thank you for watching, and please hit like or subscribe. It really helps me out on making more content. And until next time, I'm gonna make more, I guess, Star Wars Hot Toys until I'm waiting for the Batman vs Superman. Alright, thanks for watching.